Hello there. Welcome to Make Health Your Hobby for Women 50 and Over, Part 1. I am very excited to share this information with you all. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that after listening to this webinar, you will feel encouraged and inspired, as well as determined to enjoy this season and look forward to the process of aging gracefully. I want to remind you that because this webinar has been pre-recorded, you can take as many breaks as you want and come back later to finish it. I mentioned this as we will cover a lot of information. So just to let you know, because this webinar contains a lot of information, I may divide this webinar in two parts, depending on the length of the webinar, but I will let you know halfway. For now, let's call this part 1. I will send you the part 2 tomorrow if I run out of time today. You will have access to both parts, part 1 and part 2, for only 1 week. After that, your links won't work anymore. This webinar offers health, wellness, fitness, and nutritional information, and is provided for nutritional purposes only. This information is not intended as a substitute for the advice provided by your physician or other healthcare professional. You should not rely on this information as a substitute for, nor does it replace professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always speak with your physician or other healthcare provider before taking any medication or nutritional herbal or homeopathic supplement or using any treatment for a health problem. As you know, we have been created with the spirit, soul, and body. Psalm 139 verses 13 and 14 say, "For you form my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well." For the purpose of this webinar, we will focus on the body. Just as a car needs constant maintenance in order to function well, so does our body. During our youth, our metabolism works fully. We have lots of energy to spend and the capacity for our bodies to recover from the use of energy. It's very efficient. But in order to support our bodies with this efficient way to process the energy we spend, we need to take care of it. Well, my name is Claudine, and I am a former kindergarten teacher and homeschool mom of 3 beautiful young adults. They are 27, 25, and 23 right now. I live with my husband and one of our kids and our beloved dog Harley. My passion for nutrition started when in my 40s, I started experiencing leaky gut, eczema, hormonal imbalance, migraines, asthma, and many food allergies, which led me to develop RSS or rest skin syndrome, and then TSW or topical steroid withdrawal, which lasted for almost 8 years. While still in recovery and after making many changes in my eating habits and lifestyle, I decided to study nutrition with Alive Academy, receiving my designation as Certified Holistic Nutritionist. I continued my training with Precision Nutrition, becoming a nutrition coach, and later on I studied at Dr. Sears Wellness Institute, where I specialize in coaching adults, seniors, and pregnant women. I have a real passion. Yes, real passion to help people through my experience with health. And yes, this is my family. These are my kids down there. That is my husband, my awesome husband. And on the other side, it's me doing what I love, which is kayaking. Well, in this session, you will learn women's health, the damage caused by the 3 types of garbage in the body, the importance of stability and strength training, the importance of having a plan, very important, the 5-0 method, you will love it, the meaning of the wisdom of the body, the importance of eating a nutrient-dense diet, characteristics of all foods and junk foods, and shopping list. Sorry, shopping tips. Okay, where would you rather spend your time? Sitting all day and taking pills for every ailment, or enjoying a healthy life? Midlife can be a woman's halftime celebration. Not only can it be an opportunity to reflect on and rejoice in the life you have lived, but it is also a good time to plan your strategy for the future. That is why this webinar is also good for women in their 40s, because it is always good to start preparing yourself in advance, right? Now, what to expect in your 50s and over? Look at all those words. This is a question most of us made before turning 50, right? Perhaps you had the time and opportunity to do your research and know something about this stage in life. Maybe you were very busy with work or children that you never had the chance to learn about this and just started to feel different. Well, it is impossible to envision the second half of life without thinking about your health, especially your risk of developing debilitating or life-threatening diseases in the future. Around age 50, the medical decisions are changing and coming more frequently, like when to have a mammogram, colonoscopy, or bone density test, for example. You may be trying to lose weight, or you may be puzzling over the best way to manage your arthritis or irritable bowel syndrome. Well, if you are in midlife or later, you have probably already experienced some signs of aging, like your joints may ache, your skin may feel dry, and you may not sleep as well as you used to. Midlife is also a time when the risk of degenerative diseases start to climb. Many of the chronic conditions that begin to plague women in midlife are due in part to declining levels of estrogen, which helps to maintain tissues in the body's reproductive organs and also in the breast, brain, bones, bladder, and cardiovascular system. Also, of course, menopause. Actually, in our 40s, we started having symptoms of menopause. This is called premenopause, which can last for years until your menstrual period has stopped for one entire year. Then you will enter into menopause. Why don't we take a moment and read the previous title here again? What to expect in your 50s and over. Okay, let's read all those words there. Less pain, clearer thinking, strong muscles and bones, leaner body, clearer vision, better breathing, healthier skin, healthy teeth and gums, good gut feeling, increased energy. Those words sound better than the previous slide, right? All this is possible, but it requires some work from our part. Health span is more important than our lifespan. Now take a look at these pictures and think about the things you would like to do that currently you haven't been able to do. Maybe you're able to do all these things at this point in your life. Congratulations. But there are many women who can't for many reasons. One of them could be their health, right? But how can we start enjoying these and many other activities if we feel sick, moody, tired, overwhelmed, and maybe busy with other things? Well, first, we need to have the mindset to start thinking differently. I am not talking about chanting, I can do this, I can do this. No, when you really can't, right? But if you really want to start having a healthier life, it starts with you filling the blanks here. Okay, listen to this. If you say, I would like to blank, and in order to do that, I need to blank. Well, you fill the blanks. This is the first step, and in order to accomplish the first step and the many after this, we need to have a plan. Aging and hormones are two of the main topics women 50 and over are more concerned. Why is this? Well, because we can feel the changes in our hormones as we start aging. Some of these changes make us feel discouraged, confused, sad, etc. Now, let's talk about how our hormonal balance is affected by stress. We know that for men and women alike, stress can weaken the immune system, disrupt your sleep, and even cause heart disease. However, studies have shown that women, in fact, react to and are affected by mental health concerns differently than men. The two main female hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Although testosterone is considered a male hormone, females also produce and need a small amount of these too. Stress directly affects estrogen in women, especially in women 50 and over. Estrogen is produced in the ovaries, and the main function of estrogen is to regulate our reproductive health and menstrual cycles. When our bodies experience a constant flood of cortisol due to the stress, estrogen can become imbalanced. Cortisol is a steroid hormone that your adrenal glands and endocrine glands on top of your kidneys produce and release. Cortisol affects several aspects of your body and mainly helps regulate your body's response to stress. So when there is a hormonal imbalance, low estrogen levels have been linked to trouble with memory and concentration, among other things. So when estrogen is lower due to stress-induced cortisol production, symptoms of hormonal imbalance surface. Common symptoms of low estrogen range from depression, mood swings, fatigue, urinary infections, and painful sex. Low levels of estrogen have been shown to be a good indicator of depression. This may explain why depression often follows stress. A hormonal imbalance where there is estrogen dominance is also problematic. Too much estrogen. High hormone levels of estrogen may cause many women to experience anxiety, bloating, and weight gain. In women 50 and over, these symptoms of estrogen, especially low estrogen, are very common. Let's talk a bit more about estrogen. There are times when your estrogen levels fluctuate, such as during your period or when you are pregnant. But as you get older and approach menopause, your estrogen levels decline. For some, it happens early. Any condition that impairs the ovaries can reduce estrogen production too. So low estrogen levels can have a serious impact in your life. Fortunately, there are ways to replenish your estrogen supply so you don't have to suffer from the many life-altering symptoms. Age is the number one factor of low estrogen. As a female approaches age 40, perimenopause age, she experiences fluctuating estrogen levels for several years until full menopause. Estrogen contributes to so many areas of development in a woman's body. So once it starts to decline, the impact is wide-ranging. Some women that low estrogen can affect your body, some ways that estrogen can affect your body when you are 50 and over include weight gain. Estrogen and another hormone, and another hormone called progestin regulates body fat and storage. When estrogen levels are low, your body may store more fat than previously. Also, as we mentioned, painful sex. Estrogen helps provide vaginal lubrication. And as your estrogen levels decrease, your vaginal walls may become thin and dry, which makes sex painful. Also, brittle bones. With lower estrogen levels, your bones may become less dense and more brittle. Also, the popular hot flashes. Estrogen also controls part of your brain that regulates body temperature. So low estrogen levels can increase your body temperature to an uncomfortable degree, resulting in hot flashes and night sweats. Depression, also we already mentioned. Serotonin is also often referred to as the feel-good hormone. Estrogen helps elevate this happy hormone, but when estrogen declines, so the levels of serotonin, which can lead to depression. Also, fatigue and trouble sleeping. Insomnia or trouble sleeping can lead to fatigue and other problems during the day, such as problem focusing. And the combination of the lower level serotonin coupled with night sweats and hot flashes can really interfere with sleep. But one way to prevent symptoms of low estrogen is to replenish your estrogen supply. You can use resources like flax seeds or also adaptogen herbs like holy basil, also called tulsi. You can also use, you can also have it in tea as a supplement or in tea. It's both are good. Also ashwagandha, I like that name. Also in supplement form, and calcium D-glucarate, also in supplement is great. I can tell that for experience. But remember to always talk to your doctor before starting any form of hormone support. You can also increase the levels of estrogen in your body through estrogen replacement therapy. Hormone replacement therapy comes in many forms, including pills, creams, patches, and even injections. And with the hormone progestin or estrogen only. Another option contains bioidentical hormone derived from plant extracts. Of course, as a holistic nutritionist, I would recommend bioidentical hormones therapy if therapy is absolutely necessary. When we don't recover from stress, because that's estrogen's job, and we don't have a lot of estrogen anymore, stress builds up. And you want to know how our body responds to a buildup of stress? Well, it stores fat. Yeah. Our bodies thrive when stable. So if we eat at different times every day, different amount of calories every day, sometimes too much calories, other days too low. If we experience or if we exercise sometimes and sometimes not, if we drink lots of water one day and almost none the next, if we sleep long hours one day and fewer the next, if we just keep going and going without resting, or maybe too much resting, get it? All this sounds like a very unstable body. Guess what? Our bodies don't like that. No, especially when we get older. When we were younger, we could keep going and going without stopping, right? And wake up the next day fresh as a lettuce. Well, not so much when we are 50 and over. We really need more time to recover after a busy day, right? Right? Yeah? Can I see some hands? And if we don't take it easy, our body doesn't recover and it starts to complain different forms. Another very important area for women 50 and over is mobility. Have you ever tried to reach or bend in order to grab something and feel a muscle too tight and too painful? Well, it feels like your muscles were sleeping, right? And when stretching, they just don't want to extend or work when we need it. Well, this may happen to many different types of people at any age, but especially to women 50 and over. As our muscle mass is reduced due to the lack of estrogen, which for many years maintained our muscles strong and flexible. Before talking about exercise, please know what you can and cannot do. Ask for the professional advice from your doctor in case you have mobility issues, or find the support from a fitness expert in order to avoid injuries. If you are 50 and over and if you have exercised all your life, kudos to you, my friend. Unfortunately, not all women are used to exercise on a daily basis. Well, it is never too late. As we mentioned before, when we turn 50, our capacity to manage stress is reduced. Those killing workouts, remember, we used to do when we were 20 and 30? Yeah, those are gone, my friend. Now we get tired easily and faster, but that doesn't mean we cannot stay mobile and exercise. More than ever, our bodies need to keep moving. At this stage of life, we start losing muscle mass, and our bones become brittle and more vulnerable to fracture. We need to strengthen our muscles in order to protect our bones and also in order to move around and stretch when we need it. One of the ways we can strengthen our muscles is by doing strength training. I'm not asking you to use those heavy weights at the gym, but to use light weights, like the ones in the picture. You see the lady with those small weights. You can start with 2 pounds, then 3 pounds, then 5 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. You can find this practically anywhere. We can support and give our bodies strong muscles that can respond to our needs of flexibility, like extending and contracting when needed. But one major reason is to protect our bones. I remember my great grandma when she was a strong, she was a strong woman, but after her first fall, she never recovered fully. Her muscles weren't strong enough to protect her bones, and her bones were also weak, so she lost balance. If our muscles are fragile and weak, and we lose muscle mass and tone, our bones are exposed to breaking at the first fall. Have you ever met a senior who complains of extreme cold when it is not that cold? Well, it is the same issue, thin muscles and weak bones. So in order to avoid and to extend the healthy condition of our bones and muscles, I recommend you to start strength training. The purpose is not to stress our muscles, but to give them just the right support to function effectively. That is why by practicing strength training moderately, we can give what our muscles need without stressing them out. I personally have been doing this, and honestly, my arms and overall energy has improved immensely. You have no idea how much energy I have. This has also helped me with my favorite hobby of kayaking, where I really need strength in my arms, right? Start doing strength training and feel the difference. Your muscles really, and your bones and your entire body will thank you. Another great exercise is walking and moving at a fast pace, because being cardiovascularly fit, being able to do and doing cardio decreases your risk of developing dementia. Yep. It also improves insulin function, which decreases your risk of diabetes. With aerobic or cardio exercise, your muscles need more blood and oxygen than when they are at rest. This causes your heart and lungs to work harder, which over time can make these parts of your body stronger. And as your heart and lungs become stronger, the flow of blood and oxygen in your body will also improve. When thinking about fitness, most people automatically think of running, right? Walking or lifting weights, but rarely think of flexibility. However, flexibility is a very important component of physical fitness. Think of your muscles like rubber bands. The shorter and tighter a rubber band, the less force can be produced and the greater the risk the rubber band will break. The longer, the more elastic the rubber band, the more force can be produced and less likely the rubber band will break. Flexibility is needed to perform everyday activities, not just to aid in athletic performance, but for every day. Whether you are performing daily activities or going for a run, if your muscles are stiff and rigid, the task will be more difficult to perform and you will be at a greater risk of injuring yourself during that activity. On the other hand, flexible joints and muscles allow your body to stretch and bend more easily, which helps prevent injury. Not only does stretching help prevent injury, it also has numerous other benefits. Stretching increases blood flow to muscles and joints, which can assist in the decrease of joint stiffness. Stress causes muscles to tense, and this strain can negatively affect your body. So stretching muscles alleviates tension and relaxes muscles, which can help reduce stress. Additionally, countless people suffer from lower back pain, right? Yep, many muscles contribute to back posture. Quadriceps, hamstrings, lower back muscles, and hip flexors. And regularly stretching these muscles may greatly reduce or alleviate lower back pain. So stretching and working to increase flexibility is beneficial for all individuals. Beyond decreasing the likelihood of a fall, some of the benefits of maintaining or improving your balance are building strength, increasing confidence, and maintaining your independence for a longer period of time. I recommend to do all these different types of exercises every single day. In some cases, a nutrient deficiency can be a factor, yes. So you need to consider these deficiencies in case you have some of those, like deficiency in vitamin D or calcium, but you can ask your doctor to test for these deficiencies. Before talking about creating a plan, let's talk about what happens to our bodies physically as we age, causing what we call age-related problems. This happens in men too. The garbage that accumulates in our bodies causes sticky stuff to build up in our blood and to pile up in our tissues as we age. This causes wear and tear on our bodies. Our body's garbage disposal system, the immune system, weakens and is unable to repair the wear and tear from the sticky stuff. In the simplest of terms, aging has two main causes. Too much garbage accumulates in the body, and the body's garbage disposal system weakens. So it can get rid of the garbage, and your body gets out of balance. Health is simply keeping the garbage out of your body and strengthening your garbage disposal system. Healthy aging occurs when there is a balance between the amount of garbage in the body and the body's ability to get rid of it. Ever wonder why some people live 90 or 100 years with grace and joy? Good genes certainly help, but an optimistic spirit and a sense of purpose may matter even more. 1 Corinthians 6, verses 19 to 20 says, "Or do you not know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, For you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. It is our responsibility to take care of the body God has given us. Integrative physicians believe that your mental state, particularly a sense of purpose, affects lifespan. The dominant discourse of aging, especially when it comes to women, revolves around aging gracefully. What if instead of seeing aging as something to defeat and conquer, we were to embrace what gets better with age? Yeah, and work to amplify these joys while mitigating the losses of youth. I'm not suggesting we ignore the very real challenges, right? Like both physical and mental that come with aging, but we can view these challenges without judgment or shame, and instead of look for joyful ways to navigate them. Let's learn about some things that can sabotage our efforts to maintain our bodies healthy so we can know what to do to avoid them, okay? Okay, 3 types of garbage. Who likes garbage? Nobody, right? I'm sure nobody, especially when that garbage affects our bodies directly. Well, there are 3 types of garbage that can affect our bodies, all of which eventually lead to sticky stuff building up in our bloodstream. This can be referred to as the shuns: oxidation, inflammation, and glycation. All these damage the genetic control mechanisms of cells, causing them to mutate and multiply out of control. Let's talk about each of these types of garbage individually. The first type of garbage is oxidation. Our bodies are oxygen burning machines. Every minute, millions of biochemical reactions throughout the body generate exhaust called oxidants or free radicals. An easy way to think about oxidation is to think of rust. Trillions of times a day, these rust or free radicals attack our cells and tissues like little hammers. Normally, our bodies handle free radicals by producing anti-rust chemicals called antioxidants. But as we age, our bodies tend to produce fewer antioxidants. So our bodies build up more oxidants than antioxidants, further increasing the wear and tear of tissues. The second type of garbage is inflammation. Inflammation literally means that the body is on fire. Inflammation is the process which results from chemical messengers repairing wear and tear in the body. When the body is healthy, its repair system can handle all the wear and tear. Just as the road stays smooth when the wear and tear is fixed as it occurs, a body stays healthy longer if repairs are done on a regular basis. But when the wear and tear overcomes the body's ability to repair the damage, excess inflammation occurs. This excess inflammation is the primary cause of unhealthy aging. The last piece of garbage is called glycation. As we get older, our cells become less sensitive to insulin. This is called insulin resistance, which leaves a higher level of glucose in the bloodstream. This excess sugar in your blood attaches to proteins, changing their structure and making them more stiff and stick. These are called aging proteins. The medical term usually is called AGs, which stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. AGs become a sludge in the tissues of your body, preventing healthy growth and repair of new tissues. Common places of glycation to occur are the lining of the arteries, causing heart disease, and the collagen in the skin, which causes wrinkle, one of the inevitable signs of aging, right? Well, because God created our bodies in a magnificent way, our bodies have the ability to restore itself. This sometimes is not easy. Let me tell you why. Sometimes we sabotage this function in our bodies with what we eat or do. Let's talk about this garbage disposal system that helps get rid of the garbage. The garbage disposal system is our immune system. It's basically our body's maintenance crew. When this system gets out of balance, our tissues become more prone to wear and tear, creating even more inflammation. This inflammation makes women over 50 more susceptible to ITs or illnesses such as arthritis and colitis. Well, let me check my time and see. Yeah, so unfortunately, we are running out of time today. So we would need to stop right here for part 1. And I will send you the link to watch part 2. But I hope so far you are enjoying it as much as I am enjoying sharing this information with you. So come back for part 2, which will be very practical and valuable, just as first as the part 1. Thank you for joining me today, and see you in part 2. Remember, eat well, move well, and be well. Thank you for joining me on part 1.